Project COPE is a joint venture between the Workers' Education Association of Zambia and the Earth Charter US. In Zambia, we have a co-director, Victor Fury. We have one gentleman, Collins Mwebi, who is running the agricultural experiment that we're doing. We have Mike Chunga, who's an organizer for the northern village of Chama that we're working with. And then we have one worker that goes out to Zambezi. So if you count all the WIA's people that are working on it, probably 8 in Zambia, and then me here.
Okay, next question is from Zoha.
Hi, Zoha.
Hi. How many wireless toilets does each village get?
Okay, we have, right now we have 3 in Chilapula. We have 3 in Mansa. We have 3 to be shipped to Zambezi, but the cost of shipping them is 3 times the cost of the toilets themselves. So we're trying to talk UNESCO into carrying them out there on one of their trucks, but we've not had success yet. The toilets themselves cost about $400.
$1,200 too.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next question is from Max.
Hi.
Hi, Max.
Hi. What is a rocket oven?
A rocket stove, you can look them up on Google. There's even videos of them being constructed on YouTube. The ones that we use are called 9-brick stoves, or 12-brick stoves, depending how you put it together. One of the problems that people in Zambia face is that they cook on charcoal. And charcoal is very destructive for the environment. And they cook on open hearths. A rocket stove is a specially constructed stove that uses air convection to speed up the burning process. So you can use a very little bit of fuel and get a very hot flame to cook with. So the rocket stove saves fuel. It uses maybe 1/10 the amount of fuel that a regular cooking does, and it dramatically reduces the smoke and emissions, which is what causes the lung problems. For women and children. Because they're inexpensive, anyone can build them, and we brought out the techniques. Now that they're learning more about it, we're looking to start either importing clay rocket stoves from Kenya, or getting local people to make rocket stoves.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Max. Our next question is from Claudio.
Claudio, hi.
Hi.
So my question is, how did you raise awareness of Project COPE?
Well, we haven't yet. One of the things that really bugs me is when people dream up some kind of a solution and they have no proof that it actually works. And then they go out and try and get money for it. And I think that's dishonest, and actually works against helping people. So we've got 3 experiments going. And by April of this year, we'll know whether they work or not. So when we go out to people starting in April or May to start promoting our project, we'll be able to say, look, here's how many people did not get sick. This is how many additional acres we managed to farm. This is the amount of money that was an increase 1 year to the next for these people. And then I think we'll be honest with folks about what actually is going to happen if they participate in our project.
So your baseline data was about the number of people who got ill and
Correct.
the number of farms the acreage of farms,
Correct.
and did I miss one more?
Well, no, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at just the number of rocket stoves that people use.
Okay, awesome. So you'll have good hard data to take to people then?
Pardon?
So you will have collected some good hard data by April?
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you, Claudio, good question. Okay, Roma is our next question.
What's the difference between the two toilets? There's no water.
That's a very good question because they have slightly different technologies, but they both use the sun. In the Achi toilet, the refuse goes into buckets, and then they're put into they're slid back into a little oven-like thing. The sun hits the back, creates the heat, and the heat is what runs the desiccation of the fecal material. In the ecodome toilet, the entire toilet is the digester. There's not a separate bucket. And because it's completely isolated, there's no way anything can get into the groundwater. In the Achi toilet, if the water table's too high, it can still be polluted. And because the villages that we work with in Zambia use surface water, we have to go to zero contamination. So that's why we're using the waterless toilet, the ecodome waterless toilet. And I think I sent you some information on that, I believe.
Yes, you did. We've been checking out the installation of some of the toilets. We've been looking at those things, and we haven't got into the details of the big differences between the two yet. But yeah, we've been enjoying looking at the videos that you sent us and everything.
Good.
So thank you. And this is our big question, the burning question from Andrew this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sherman. Now,
Hi, Andrew.
the big question that we all have is how can we get involved? How can we help Project Hope?
Well, when I talked with Victor the other day, and I asked him about what he could see as helping us, and we both decided that we should use your imagination as much as ours. We have one of the biggest problems that people in the local area face is they don't have access to resources that they can leverage to improve their lives. For instance, if they were to get solar cookers that use reflective foil to cook the food, that would dramatically reduce the amount of wood they have to get. But the problem is they can buy wood for, $2 a week.
Right.
A solar cooker costs $20. They don't have $20 to do the solar cooker. They don't have $20 to build, to get a pre-made rocket stove. So one of the natural inclinations that people have is, well, let me give them one. Okay, that has some really negative consequences. First of all, if you're going to give them, we're talking on the order of 5 million people, probably 2 million households. So you'd have to give them 2 million rocket stoves to make a difference. So that's not going to happen.
No. All right.
What is a better idea? Hang on a second, because here's where I'm going to involve you. Okay?
Okay.
What a better idea is to give one of their local co-ops some stoves to sell.
Okay.
Once they're selling stoves or waterless toilets or whatever it is, once they're selling those, they have an economic incentive to make them work because that's how they get money. The money that they get, they can now buy more rocket stoves and then sell them again. And what you've done is you've created a local economy. What my wife and I did is we bought a tractor. We donated it to the co-op. The co-op sold the tractor to Collins. Okay, Collins has to pay it back with the profits that he makes. But because the tractor is so much better than doing it by hand, he's going to make way more money than he would have made working by hand. So that money difference between what he would have made doing it by hand and what he is going to make doing it by tractor, he uses to pay off the tractor.
Oh, okay.
So he gives that money back to the co-op. Now the co-op has money to buy another tractor, which they then sell to somebody else. And
Hello? That's not good.
Hello? Should I just get it?
This was our burning question.
That's not good. Oh, listen, I know it.
I guess he didn't like us.
I knew it wasn't good. I
It's
know.
only on.
No, it's not good. Come on.
It's ringing.
Hello?
there you are.
Oh, we
Sorry
lost you
about
for a
that.
second.
So
Sorry about that.
if we can get the local co-ops, these are banking co-ops, to begin to lend money to people and then get it back with interest, there's now money in the local economy to buy other things. And once people begin to see how this works, and they begin to form more co-ops, in fact, you really can, with a relatively small donation, we're starting with one tractor, dramatically impact large numbers of people. Our project is designed to have these kinds of projects in every single village in Zambia in 20 years. That's our stated goal, is to eliminate rural poverty in 20 years.
So,
Thank you so much.
so what do we need to do?
Yeah, what can we donate? Can we?
Okay, what you guys can do is figure out which kind of project you would like to work with,
All right.
whether it's water purification or tractors or stoves. And then by staying in contact with us, decide what kind of a project you want to work with. Once we know that, because we know where the experiments are, then we'll put you in contact with those people through Victor. And so if you say, okay, we're going to put up 10 stoves, or we're going to put up 20 water filters, whatever it is you decide to do, then Victor will get in touch with that co-op. The donation will go to them, and they'll begin selling them in the village.
Oh, awesome.
And because you have direct contact with them, then you will get to see firsthand what happens to your project.
That's awesome.
Really, really cool. Well, we will be keeping in touch.
Yes,
We'll be deciding and looking further into what project we can do for sure. Thank you so much. That's very exciting that in 20 years to eliminate poverty. That's really exciting. How old will you all be in 20 years now?
I'll be old.
I don't like rodeo. I get quiet.
That's really, really exciting. It's exciting to be included and to be involved in it, even from the very